Yes, good morning, one and all. Today we are going to check next point of this chapter, that is definition of cybersecurity. Sixth point, definition of cybersecurity. Prior to implementing cybersecurity, it is necessary to first gain a thorough understanding of cyberspace. What is cyberspace? You should know what is cyberspace, then you will come to know about cybersecurity. What is cyberspace? Cyberspace in general is an interactive world made up of digital networks. As we have physical connection, there is a digital connection for this world that are used to store, change, and communicate data. So, cyberspace in general is an interactive world made up of digital networks that are used to store, change, and communicate data. So, remember this definition. It encompasses not only the internet but also various information systems that underpin our businesses, infrastructure, and services. So everything is mentioned on digital platform, and that part is called as a cyberspace. That's why it contains information system of various businesses, infrastructure, and their services. Everything will come under this cyberspace. Objective of cybersecurity is protection of sensitive and valuable information and services from unauthorized access, hacking, or natural disaster, while allowing it to remain accessible and productive to its intended user, while maintaining confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So, your main objective of cybersecurity: protection of sensitive and valuable information. What sensitive data that particular organization is collecting, protection of that data is important. So that is the main objective of cybersecurity. And services, what services they are providing, that should be available on time. From what we have to protect this from unauthorized access. We have to protect our sensitive data as well as information and services from unauthorized access or hacking or natural disasters, while allowing it to remain accessible. In this part also, our services or our data, for example, organization data, organization services should be accessible and productive to its intended user. At that time, we have to maintain their confidentiality, integrity, as well as availability. So these 3 points are important in security. Clear? Objective of cybersecurity and cyberspace.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Cybersecurity is the process of preventing and detecting unauthorized use of your computer and network. First, we have to prevent it. In cybersecurity, in this process, first we have to prevent unauthorized use of your computer and network. But once attack is done, after that, what you will do, you have to detect that. Then and then only you will find the remedy for that. So first, try to prevent. If anything occurred wrong, then we have to detect it first, and then we have to find the solution on that. So it will come under cybersecurity. Preventive measures help you to put barrier for unauthorized users, also known as intruders, from accessing any part of your computer system. So this prevention will help you to put barriers for unauthorized users. Means we are not allowing them to enter into your organization. We are preventing them by using gate also. We are preventing outsider to come inside into our organization. So that's why we are saying that prevention is better than cure. So we will check person there only whether it is authorized person. Then and then only we will allow that person. Otherwise, we will stop that person, unauthorized person, on the gate only. But anyhow, that person has managed to came inside using anybody. That person will come with that person, other person. After that, we have to apply this other control, detecting. inside our organization we have to detect that person, whether where that person is going, what that person is doing. Everyone will keep watch on that person. Likewise here, once attack is occurred, we have to detect that occur and detect that attack, and what because of that attack, what has been compromised of your system, that also we have to find out. So immediately we can apply solution or controls on it. Cybersecurity helps you to determine whether or not someone attempted to break into your system. So, detection part will come here. It will help you whether or not someone attempted to break into your system, if they were successful, and what they may have done, and what may be the further security. So, if they are successive, means this part is going to work. Detection is what they have done, that we have to search first, and after that what may be the further security, whatever losses will be there, on that loss what we can give remedy, that will be our further security. Understood this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Then cybersecurity refers to the body of technologies, process and practices designed to protect computing devices, network, application and data from unauthorized access, damage or attack. So various definitions are given. Everything you will check that we have to protect our system from unauthorized access, damage and attack. So this thing we have to remember when you are talking about cybersecurity. What we have to secure? What we have to secure? Sensitive data. From whom? The person who are going to access that system unauthorizedly. Okay. And what they can, if they have access the system, what they will do? They can damage your system. That will be a loss of reputation for organization. So for that purpose, we have to perform these cybersecurity operations. Then cybersecurity is important and helps to secure data from threats. It will help to secure data from threats. Threat can be a data theft, misuse of data. This could be a threat. So we have to secure data from this part. If no security is there, your data can be lost. So data can be lost means data theft is there. That is a threat. If no security, what will be the threat? Data can be lost or data can be misused. So we have to secure our data from threat under this cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is planned procedure to secure personal computers, network, application data, etc. from unauthorized access. So everywhere you will see this term unauthorized access. In the definition, you have to show this term for what is the aim of cybersecurity. We have to secure our system from unauthorized access. So there you will plan for this cyber security. There will be a plan how we are going to performing security, how we are going to implement security to our organization. What is the aim of that? Everything you have to mention, and that could be your definition of cyber security. This is the only definition part. Is there any difficulty? You can ask me. Yes. Main definition of cyber security. Then you have to tell about objective, for what reason we are thinking about cyber security, what is the cyberspace. Is there any problem in the definition of cyber security? Yes.
No, ma'am.
Okay, now this is the important part: vulnerabilities, threats and harmful act. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability means weakness of your system. If anyone knows your weakness, he can try to use that weakness to destroy you. Same way it happens with system. If anyone knows your system weakness, they will try to hack it. They will try to break your system. Once system is break, what will happen? First, unauthorized access, that is using that access, they will do anything. Second, your data will be lost. Your reputation is gone. So here first we have to think about vulnerability. Vulnerability means weakness of your system. So intervene of multiple people together at one network creates vulnerability. So one network is there and multiple people are coming there to give their suggestion. Means we will do our network like this. Someone will come there, they will change the network. Means if more than one people are coming together, that is one vulnerability. That is one vulnerability of the system, and this will make your system weak. Everyone will give their expertise, everyone will try to implement their expertise, but that is a one weakness of your system. Then perhaps if these vulnerabilities identify well in advance, if there is any vulnerability in your system and you have identified that vulnerability well in advance before the cyber criminal, before this criminal, if your organization has or identified this vulnerability, then it will give strength to the system. Immediately you will apply some patches to that vulnerability and your system will become secure. So before cyber criminal, we should know the vulnerabilities of our system. That's why organization hires white hackers. White hackers, what they will do, they will find out the vulnerabilities of your system. So before cyber criminal, you should know your vulnerabilities and you have to work on that. If you will not work, cyber attack will be there. Therefore, vulnerability means weakness of your system. Clear? Clear this slide? Vulnerabilities.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Indeed, an unexpected event can compromise the security of your system. Unexpected event is there, because of that event, your system security can be compromised. Since no one can claim for 100% security of any system. Remember this, your system is not 100% secure. Whatever technology you will use, whatever tools you will use for the security of your system, then also you cannot say that your system is 100% secure. System has always scope for improvement. Whatever problem, means any system will have some problem. So there is a scope for improvement for that system. Because of error in design, what will be the problem in the system? There could be error in design, error in implementation, unskilled workers dealing with the system. Weaknesses could be anything. System is very well, but workers are unskilled. They don't know how to use that system. That is also weakness. So always there is a scope for improvement. Attackers looks exactly for an opportunity to intrude into the system by using variety of tries, techniques, tools to exploit the vulnerability in the system or security policy and control. So what is the aim of attacker? They will always try to find out the weakness of your system. Once they will get that weakness, they will try to exploit your system or exploit your vulnerability. Threat and vulnerability are consequently arising in the system security. Vulnerability is there. Because of this vulnerability, threat will occur. If you don't have a gate to your organization, anybody can enter into your organization. That is a threat. So threat and vulnerability are consequently arising in the system security. Vulnerability is a weakness of your system, and if it is identified by the attacker, then attacker may initiate certain action for the unauthorized access. Suppose your vulnerability is leak, that can be leaked by anyone. Other one way is they will try to check your system continuously by monitoring your network, or disgruntled employees will be there. They are not happy with the organization. They can leak the system weaknesses to other person. So because of that, attacker can attack on your system. That is also one weakness, disgruntled employee. That's why every time employee try to keep their employee, every time organization try to keep their employee happy. But somewhere there could be a problem, because of that reason that employee is going to betray that organization. And these type of attackers are trying to search such employees. Sometimes they are going to try to give bribe to employee. You will you if you disclose such information to us, we will give this type of amount. So that could be weakness. So using that, anyone or attacker can get action or can get unauthorized access to your system. System security threat can result in not only unauthorized access to data but also damage to information or dislocate digital operation. Yes, security threat means not only unauthorized access to data. There could be damage to information. They will destroy your information, complete information, or dislocate digital operation. They will change the location of your files. So when you are going to try to access that file, you will not get that file. Understood this slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Whose mic is on? Yes, mute yourself. Next part is harmful act. Harmful act shall be referred as any type of theft, fraud, fraudulence, offense, or other willful misconduct of any gathering to this agreement, or any party's administrator, worker, manager, or agent. So harmful act, this is any type of theft, that is a harmful act. Fraud, fraudulence, offense, and other willful misconduct of any gathering. So this is called as a harmful act that could be harmful to your system. So this is about vulnerabilities, threat, and harmful act. Is there any doubt in these 3 points? Yes.
No, ma'am.
Vulnerability means weakness. Using this weakness, threat can occur. Once that weakness is disclosed, whatever will happen there, that is a threat. Harmful act means type of threat, that is called as a harmful act.
Yes, ma'am.
Then CIA tried this part already. We have seen confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Again, we are going to check, and in each and every chapter, you will get this point because this is related with the security. If these 3 points are there, then you can say that our system is secure. Okay, so CIA tried. CIA triad is a security model that represents core objectives of data security and serve as a channel for organization to protect their sensitive data from unauthorized access. The main objective is to protect our sensitive data from unauthorized access. And this is a security model. CIA Triad is a representation to show policies for security of information within an organization. So for achieving these 3 parts, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, we will apply some controls. So this triad will show the policies for the security. What are the policies for the security of information? How we are sending that information to other organization or other people. So for that, what policy we have used? The 3 key principles Confidentiality, integrity, and availability are guaranteed available in any secure system. If we are thinking about secure system, these three things should be available. If anyone is missing, you cannot say our system is secure. If confidentiality is missing, integrity and availability is there, then also your system is insecure. If integrity is missing, your system is insecure. If availability is not there, no use of your system, because your system is not available at right time. So how you are saying that your system is secure? So for security, these 3 points are required: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And this is called as a key principle of security, secure system. So if these 3 points are guaranteed available, then you can say that your system is secure. This is the diagram. CIA triad: confidentiality, availability, integrity. First, we will see confidentiality. Confidentiality is the ability to ensure that information is accessible only to those who are authorized to access. We have already seen this concept, but here we will check the definition part as well as example. Confidentiality is the ability to ensure what we are going to ensure, that information is accessible only to those who are authorized. Means they have their username and password. Using that username password, they will access your data. So only authorized people can access your confidential data. It hides information from unauthorized people. So who don't have this authority, or who don't have user ID and password of your system, they are not allowed to access information of an organization. Encryption and cryptography are the technique used to ensure confidentiality of transient data from one computer to another. While sending data from one computer to another, if we want to achieve this confidentiality, we can use these two techniques, encryption and cryptography. So in between, no one else can read your data, because we have already encrypted that data. We have already used the cryptography technology. So we can transfer data from one computer to another. And here we are maintaining confidentiality. Clear? Confidentiality? Only authorized person will be there. Authorized access will be there. Then data speaks everything about the organization. If you will check the data of our website, everything you will get information about students, employees, lectures, syllabus will be there, examination will be there. Is on the basis of that website only you will come to know that yes, it is a college website. So data speaks everything about the organization, irrespective of good or bad characteristics. Leakage in the information may lead to massive problem to the organization, and therefore privacy of the information is essential. If that data is leaked, means there is a loss of confidentiality. Hmm? Data is leaked means loss of confidentiality. If not leaked, then confidentiality is maintained there. Confidential information is meant to kept secret. That data should not disclose to unauthorized person. Confidentiality of data means protecting the information from disclosure to unauthorized party. It assumes preventing unauthorized access to information. By confidentiality, it is ensured that information, either in transit or stored, is accessible only to the entities which are authorized to access those resources. So confidentiality is maintained, then you can say that whether data is in transit or stored, you can say that data is accessible to only authorized person. Unauthorized access is not allowed. Information such as your ATM PIN, bank account detail, trade secret of any business, and personal information should be kept private and confidential. Protecting this information is a major part of information security. So that's why organization is very much concerned about data security or information security. If it is leaked, then many problems, organization has to face many problems. Information must not lose its privacy. It must be shielded from being pursued or replicated by any individual who is not approved to do as such. Here we are giving protection to our information, so unauthorized access will not happen there. Information systems audit imposes a restriction for unauthorized access. We have to perform this information system audit on our information system. So you will come to know loopholes of your system. If anything is happen in between and you are not aware about that, that also come in front of you. So information system audit imposes restriction for unauthorized access of the confidential data and keeps confidential data out of reach of malpractices. So every time this audit is going to conduct in organization. So this is about confidentiality. Is there any doubt in confidentiality?
No, ma'am.
So just
No, ma'am.
remember we have to think about only authorized person can have access to your system. Integrity. Integrity is ability to ensure that what we have to ensure here, unauthorized person should not modify data without owner's permission. So here we have to think only about modification of data. It should not modify. If modified, loss of integrity. If not modified, integrity is maintained. So without owner's permission, unauthorized person should not modify the data. That is called as a integrity. For example, intercept someone's important data and modify it before sending it to the intended receiver. If this is done, then we can say that there is a loss of integrity. What sender has to send, a receiver is not getting in that wave. Receiver will get something else, some other message. That is loss of integrity. And what sender is want to send, same thing is received by the receiver, then we can say that there is a integrity. The integrity of information means the trust of data formulated or constructed. Data integrity is the maintenance and the assurance of the accuracy and consistency of data over its entire life cycle. Here we are assuring that data is not changed, data is not modified. What way they have sent by the sender, in that way only receiver will get that data. We are giving assurance that, and is a critical aspect to the design, implementation and usage of any system which stores, processes and retrieves data. Completeness, soundness, purity and veracity are certain attributes of data integrity. Veracity means your real data. What is your real data? That is the attribute of data integrity. If data integrity is not maintained, an organization no longer has a true representation of itself or their events. If something is happened, something is lost or changed during transition, you will not trust to that organization. So here, if the data integrity is not maintained, an organization no longer has a true representation of itself or their events. Integrity implies authorized changes are allowed, changes must be detected and tracked, and changes must be limited to specific scope. But the owner of that data should know about that changes. Authorized changes are allowed. Owner of that data should know that changes. Unauthorized changes are not allowed. Information is protected from losses or modification. Integrity of information can be ensured by using adequate procedures and methods, either in transit or stored. So here we have to apply some procedures and methods that will ensure that our data is not going to modify during transition or storing. Clear with this integrity? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next part is availability. Third part of the CIA triad, availability. Availability is the ability of infrastructure to function according to the business expectation. What is your business? And as per your system is working, then you can say that yes, it's as per my requirement, my system is working. That is the availability. Availability is the ability of infrastructure to function according to the business expectation. Availability of data should be available 24 by 7. Whenever you are going to access the system, that should be available. Availability and timeliness is an important asset of data. If particular data is not getting in time, then it's none of use. One of the on the off possibility that information is not available at the critical moment, it is none of the use. If you are going to withdraw money, if you will go to the ATM and try to withdraw money and that is not available, you are not getting that money, it's none of use. So that should be available on the ATM also. They you will get the 24 by 7. So anytime you will go there, you can access your account and you can withdraw money. If you are not withdrawing money at that time, you will be frustrated. So data should be available to user on a need to know basis. Need to know basis, that on the basis of the that data should be available. See, on the website also you are able to create your login. You can create your login, you can take a admission, you can do other things also. What you should know, that part is going to show to you. That part is going to you are allowed to interact with that part. You are not allowed to enter into our system in our login. What you need to know, on the basis of that data is displayed on the website. It's your right. Access to data availability is given based on their assigned duties and legitimate task. Legitimate means legal task. What you are allowed to do, that task you can perform. What duties you have assigned, that duties you can perform. So access to data availability is given on the basis of their assigned duties and legitimate task. Availability of information refers to the availability of data as and when needed, means need to know basis, for the authorized user of the system only. So this is need to know basis, means whenever what information you have to know, that should be displayed. Data availability has two dimensions for their access. The first dimension is about to make data available publicly without any restriction. Data is publicly available without restriction. That is a one type of availability. For example, several employees annual turnover and list of their products are commonly available at authenticated website of the company. For example, what is the annual turnover of that particular company, that will be available on the website. List of their product. Amazon, you will go on Amazon, you will check the list of their product. That should be, means it should be available publicly. So here whether if you are going to create any website, you should know what data you have to show to the user and what data you have to restrict from them. The second dimension of data availability is non-availability of the data to the public at large because of the critical nature or its secrecy. So here we are going to show data publicly, that should be available publicly, and here in the second dimension data should not available publicly because of their secrecy or criticality. Since privacy of the information is a major concern, then such data should make available to special and authorized users only. So this non-availability of data public means we have to keep that data private. We have to keep that data confidentially. We have to maintain the confidentiality of that data. So data is confidential means only authorized person can access that data. So that is written here. Since privacy of information is a major concern, then such data should make available to special and authorized user only. Means owner of that organization can access this data. Then other authorized person, admin is there. They can access that. For example, income tax related information is not allowed to publish in public. This information is not allowed to publish in public. Although planning commission department of country can access this information without any constraint. Publicly, this information is not allowed. To showing this information is not allowed, but planning commission department of the country can access this information without any restriction for the futuristic planning purpose. So here we have to decide which data is critical and which is not. The data which is not critical and but that is important for the user, then we have to display that data publicly. Denying the rightful users access to information is a quite common attack in this internet age. If you are authorized a person, you have user ID and password, then also you are not allowed to enter into the system. That is attack. Denying the rightful user access to information is a quite common attack in the internet age. User can also deny access to data due to natural disaster such as floods or accidents like power failure or fire. So because of these reasons, these are also type of attack. Hmm? Flood is there, disasters will be natural disaster. These are natural disasters. So flood is there, accidents could be power failure, fire. Because of this, you will not allow to access your data. Maybe your server will be there. If server no power is there, server will be shut down. Server is shut down means you are not allowed to access your data. The key to ensuring data availability is backing up. So for this reason, for this disaster, we have to keep our data backup. Your server, another server will be there, backup server will be there. If this is closed, you have to shift on your backup server. Means data availability should be there. Backup data should ideally be stored at a location far away to ensure its safety. See, if flood is there, your main server and backup server is at same location, what is use of that? So we have to keep our server and backup server in a such a way that the same impact will not be there, same disaster will not be there. We have to think about that for backup server. Backup data should ideally be stored at a location far away to ensure its safety. But this distance should not take into account the time it will take to recover the backup data. But this distance should not be so much. So it will take to backup data too long. It will take too long to backup data. So this thing also we have to consider. So this is about availability. Moreover, the availability of information requires that the resource is usable during a given period, despite attack or failure. If attack is there, failure is there, then also you will access the resources of your system. That is availability. To verify availability, one must examine the net effect on the control data related to availability. So here we have to check the control which we are going to apply for the availability. What are the effectiveness of that control? It ensures that authorized entities have access to information resources only when they need them. So whenever they require the access to the information or resource, that time they should get that access. That is called as a availability. That is called as a verification of availability. Whether we are getting data when we want. That is the verification. If you try to write immediately, if you type punacollege.edu.in, and if website is not available, then you can say that verification is failed. So such a type of verification will be checked.